Star Wars legend Dave Prowse, the actor who played Darth Vader in the first three original movies, met South Yorkshire fans on a book signing tour to promote his autobiography at Waterstones in Orchard Square, Sheffield. He also brought along and signed iconic Darth Vader photos and posters from the blockbuster franchise. And the force really was with him. At the front of the queue was police force civilian worker and Star Wars fan Steve Matthews.
I've booked the day off work, and it's just great to sort of come and meet him. You know, he's just an icon of British film, not only for Star Wars, but Hammer films. He's just fantastic, great British actor.
Well, it sounds like you already know the story, but you've come to buy the book, haven't you, today?
Yes, I've come to buy the book and get it signed by him. Yeah.
In terms of big screen bad guys, they don't come any bigger than Darth Vader, do they?
No, he's up there with everybody. He's there with like Dracula and all the heavies, but he's the best one of all the science fiction films.
Well, my name's Graham Walker. I'm digital editor at the Star in Sheffield. It's my great pleasure today to be sat with a real Hollywood legend. We've got Dave Prowse, better known to everybody as Darth Vader. You're looking great, Dave. How are you?
Thank you very much. I'm very well, actually. Yeah, I've had a long, a big operation done about five months ago, which I've got over, fortunately. But I'm now very back working again. And
well, it's certainly not stopped you coming back up to Sheffield. And you've got a very special reason for coming up here. So tell us what you've been doing here.
Well, I've actually I've launched my book. It's a book called Straight from the Force's Mouth. It's my autobiography, and I'm on a book tour of Great Britain at the present moment. And Sheffield is the number 2 city. I did Croydon, which is my hometown to start with, and now and then it's second week this week in beautiful downtown Sheffield.
Sheffield's a bit of a second home to you. You've got some lovely memories up here.
Yeah, I enjoy coming up to Sheffield. Yeah.
And what a great reception you've had at Waterstones today. I mean,
phenomenal.
I think we've got about the books that we see in the background. Everything else has gone, hasn't it?
Everything's gone. I think we've done almost the best part of 100 books. Yeah.
Does it still surprise you that kind of 35 years on from the Star Wars films that there's still this massive interest in what you do?
Yeah, it does actually. Well, it amazes me, not surprises me. It just amazes me that, as I said, that the interest is still there, and I mean I can travel all over the world, in connection with Star Wars. I mean, next year, for instance, I mean, here we are now, nearly 40 years since Star Wars came out. I've got already something like about 20 conventions worldwide next year already lined up.
I mean, there's obviously some fantastic memories in the book, but if you had a one key memory of your role as Darth Vader, what would it be?
I mean, there were lots of happy moments, and I think I get probably more out of meeting the fans and getting the acclaim and the awe of the children and things like this.
You were telling me something a little earlier about when you used to sneak into the spare room with Alec Guinness and do the lightsabers fighting.
Yeah,
I mean, what great memories they are. I mean,
yeah. Well, he was nice. He was very, very pleasant to work with, And this, but so we used to. It's like we would be on set, and if things were quiet on set. I used to say to him, do you want to come next door? There's a studio next door, which is where nothing's happening. Let's go in and practice the sword fight.
Let's just remind everybody, these weren't real lightsabers.
Oh, no.
So what did you used to fight with?
Just with pieces of stick. Yeah.
But talking of which, I mean, you didn't really see the full effect until you saw the film. I mean, when you saw the lightsabers and all the rest of it, I mean, you must have been wowed by that.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I had no idea. We were just doing it as like kids fight with sticks in the back garden. That's what we were like. The whole thing obviously had to be choreographed.
I think one of the big effects is right at the start of Star Wars when the big spaceship comes on. It just fills that screen.
Amazing, wasn't it? Yeah. That was that once again, we don't see any of that. I mean, when you're working on the movie, all that comes in as special effects and all gets put on after. When like Lucas, they do all the filming actually as part of the film, and then once all the filming is done, then they go back to America and then put all the special effects on.
Well, it's no secret, and I think in the book you mentioned that you thought you didn't really rate the film much when you were making it. You didn't really see what the appeal was about.
Yeah. No, I didn't. Well, the thing. Once again, when you're working on a film like this, there are so many sort of imponderables. Like things never worked. For instance, I mean, lots of things went wrong. I mean, for instance, with me, I mean, the very first scene I ever did, I decided I wanted to make everybody subservient to Darth, and I wanted most of that to come from the walk. And I sort of strode up the corridor, and there was George Lucas chasing behind me on a camera dolly, and the camera dolly couldn't keep up with me. And he said, we got to the end, and he said, Dave, he said, look, he said, I'm sorry, he said, you've got to slow up. He said, we can't keep up with you. And so that then we had to, of course, change the walk. I mean, they obviously needed a big physique to play Darth. And I got offered Chewbacca first, and then I turned that down because I didn't fancy. I thought Chewbacca was very much like a gorilla, and all I could think of was like 3 months in a gorilla skin, and all how hot and sweaty and smelly it was all going to be like, And so I turned that one down out of hand, and they said, well, how about playing the big villain of the film? I said, yes, please.
But your actual statuesque part that you brought to that, the way you moved, the way you walked, you actually made Darth Vader your own, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, it comes from. I think a lot of it comes from being an ex-bodybuilder, because if you're a bodybuilder and you enter competitions, I mean the part of the competition is being able to display your physique, to its best advantage. And you stand up there, and it's like at home. You practice in front of the mirror, and you pose, and you flex your muscles, and I think all this comes into.
The great thing about the book is the fact that you were Darth Vader, but you were also lots of other things. I mean, you were in The Clockwork Orange. You trained with Arnold Schwarzenegger. You trained Christopher Reeve for Superman. I mean, it's a very colourful past, isn't it? When you look back on it, I mean, how would you
come out to me, and they came around to me, and they said you've had a most fantastic career, haven't you? I said, well, yeah, I have actually, because it's gone from being registered as a crippled child to start with, and then I had years and years of exercising and training, and then entering like local competitions. I've had lots of setbacks. I mean, it's like when I was bodybuilding, I was told I would never ever win a big competition because I had ugly feet of all the dafty things, and so I changed over to competitive weightlifting, and I became the British heavyweight weightlifting champion. And then I had another setback on there. I was British heavyweight champion for 3 years. I did the World Championships in Budapest. I did the Empire and Commonwealth Games in Perth. And then we were all training for Tokyo for the Olympic Games. And then at the last minute, the Weightlifting Association turned around and said, terribly sorry, we haven't got enough money to send a full team, so you won't be going to Tokyo. So I thought, well, pack it in. Let's go off on another venture, as it were. And that's how I came. I opened up my own gymnasiums. And had a totally new career.
And the weightlifting and bodybuilding were a really big part of your life. But most people saw you in two key roles. We've mentioned one, of course, Darth Vader. The other one was the Green Cross Code Man. And I mean, again, you say that that was probably the best role you ever had.
Yes, my favourite job. So I think I got more job satisfaction from that than anything, because. I came into it when the road accident figures in Great Britain were running at something like about 40,000 a year. There were 40,000 a year children getting knocked down, injured, and killed on the roads. And I came along, and we did 5 years of television commercial. We did 3 commercials a year, so I did 15 television commercials, and then 10 years of just going around the schools as well. So from 1976 right through until 1990. I was doing primarily Star Wars, primarily Green Cross Code. Although I fitted Star Wars and the other movies in between, it was primarily that period. It was a Green Cross Code period, and of course, the results were at the end of the 14 years, we'd halved the road accident figures in Great Britain, gone down from over 40,000 to less than 20,000.
Do you think Darth Vader helped to get that message across?
Yeah, I think it was an integral part of the campaign, and as much that when I used to do the talks, I used to end the talks and ask the children if they had any questions they wanted to ask me. I never ever got one question about road safety. Every question I got was about Star Wars, and as I said, and I think the way the success of the campaign was primarily because all the kids knew that the Green Cross Code Man was really Darth Vader, and it was Darth Vader talking to them about road safety. There's something about 50 odd chapters in the book, and it's all about different things that happened to me during my career. And of course in the book also there's lots of pictures, like me with Lou Ferrigno, me with Terry Pratchett, me with the Bond girls, and all sorts of other pictures. And this is only a very small selection of pictures, which I would have liked to have gone in. I had lots more pictures. And,
Well, I suppose that begs a question. If this
yeah,
book's going
yeah.
down so well, do you think we might see another one
I
from
think
you?
you probably will actually. I've got plans to do another one at some later stage.
So that'll be Dave Prowse Strikes Back, will it?
So strikes again. Yeah.
But in the meantime, if people do want to catch up with you, I know that you're on a big Waterstone tour. If people couldn't get you here in Sheffield, you're going around the country, aren't you, before Christmas?
all over the country. Yeah. Next, I think we're doing Bristol, Cardiff, you name it. We're going Plymouth, Bishop's Stortford, Cambridge, almost everywhere. Yeah.
Well, David, as we always say when we're with you, it's been a pleasure. I know it'll not be long before you're back in Sheffield again.
Definitely.
But until we do meet again, may the force be with you.
Thank you very much. Look forward to coming back. Thank you.